This is a summary of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. The content of this presentation is Who is Mark Manson? Chapter 1, Don't Try. Chapter 2, Happiness is a Problem. Chapter 3, You are not special. Chapter 4, The Value of Suffering. Chapter 5, You are always choosing. Chapter 6, You are wrong about everything, but so am I. Chapter 7, Failure is the way forward. Chapter 8, The Importance of Saying No. Chapter 9, And Then You Die. My own thoughts of the book, and in the end, the sources I used for this presentation. Who is Mark Manson? Mark Manson is a best-selling author, blogger, and self-help guru known for his straightforward and unconventional approach to personal development. He was born on March 9, 1984 in the United States. Manson gained widespread recognition with the release of the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck in 2016. The book challenges conventional self-help advice and encourages readers to re-evaluate their priorities and values. Mark Manson's writing often revolves around themes such as resilience, embracing life's uncertainties, and the pursuit of meaning over superficial success. In addition to his books, Manson has a popular blog where he shares articles and essays on various topics related to personal growth and life philosophy. His work resonates with many readers for its candid and no-nonsense style. Chapter 1, Don't Try. Common advice: focus on what you lack, reinforces your mistakes and needs. Not giving a damn about superficial worries leads to genuine happiness. Mental health suffers from overcommitment in superficial concerns. Negative emotions are considered unacceptable, creating a vicious circle of stress and self-loathing. Not giving a fuck, accepting the world is challenging, provides freedom from this cycle. Positive experiences seek the negative, while accepting negativity yields positive experiences. Seeking the positive often leads to dissatisfaction, while not giving a fuck produces better results. The art of not giving a fuck requires practice, prioritizations of values, and accepting life's challenges. Even though you can't not give a fuck about everything, you must carefully choose what you care about. Maturity is focusing on what truly matters, providing inner satisfaction. Life is challenging, but finding meaning and dignity in what truly matters is crucial for happiness. Accepting life's crap and learning to endure pain gives a sense of invincibility. Chapter 2, Happiness is a Problem. Life is suffering. Wealth, poverty, family, joy all bring their own form of pain. Pain is inevitable, and we should accept it. Suffering is biologically useful, driving change and development. Physical pain warns us of our limits, while mental pain signals imbalance. The solution? Actively solve problems to achieve genuine happiness. Attempting to avoid or deny problems leads to unhappiness. We may numb the pain, but confronting it is inevitable and necessary. Emotions, both positive and negative, are biological signals for action. Suppression leads to problems, and pain serves a purpose. Decisions should not solely be based on emotions, as they are fleeting. The hedonic treadmill shows that life will always have problems. Happiness requires struggle. Choosing and dealing with challenges provides lifelong satisfaction. Avoiding pain leads to failed dreams. Success depends on the pain you are willing to endure. Happiness lies not in the outcome, but in the process and struggle. Accept challenges as they shape your success and give meaning to life. Chapter 3, You are not special. The sense of entitlement provides false confidence, which can infect others. The problem is that entitled individuals prioritize themselves, often at the expense of others. Entitled people often fail to acknowledge their own problems and improve their lives. The sense of entitlement arises as compensation for pain, either by feeling superior or as a victim. Modern technology amplifies this feeling, bombarding us with extreme achievements and idols that make us feel inadequate. The constant availability of exceptional stories reinforces low self-esteem, and technology creates new mental problems. Being average is perceived as a failure, and many seek attention by highlighting unhappiness or goes into a victim role. The belief that everyone can be extraordinary is essentially self-aggrandizement. The key to emotional well-being lies in accepting life's grey truth. Life's ordinary moments, friendship, creation, help, reading, and laughter are what truly matters. Chapter 4: The Value of Suffering. Suffering is unavoidable, and the question should not be how to avoid it, but why we suffer and what purpose it serves. Self-awareness is like an onion with many layers, and identifying emotional blind spots is crucial for personal growth. Values underlie everything we do, and if not well chosen, they negatively affect our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Superficial advice provides short-term well-being but does not solve lasting problems. Self-examination is challenging but necessary to change thought patterns. Problems are inevitable, but you can control their meaning by choosing values and benchmarks. Changing their perspective on problems requires a change in values and how we measure success or failure. Pleasure is a false god that is not the cause of happiness but a consequence of the right values and benchmarks. Material prosperity has limited correlation with happiness after basic needs are met. Excessive emphasis on material success can lead to the loss of values like honesty and compassion. Self-worth, based on always being right, hinders learning and growth. Denying negative emotions leads to deeper problems, and constant positivity is avoidance, not a solution. Negative emotions are necessary for mental health and can be handled through expression in line with values. Problems give life meaning, and avoiding them leads to a meaningless existence. Good values, rooted in reality, socially constructive, immediate, and controllable, bring happiness and success as natural results. Bad values often depend on external events, are socially destructive, and provide short-lived pleasures. Self-development is about choosing better values, caring about meaningful things, and thus achieving a better life with more meaningful problems. Chapter 5: You are always choosing. The solution to whether a problem feels destructive or constructive often lies in the sense of choosing it yourself. Unhappiness occurs when we feel problems are forced upon us without our control. Recognizing that we are individually responsible for everything in life, regardless of external circumstances, is the foundation of personal development. While we may not always control events, we can control our interpretation and reaction to them. We are always responsible for our experiences. Choosing not to consciously interpret events is also a response. The choice is constant, and there is no state of not giving a fuck about everything. The question is rather what we choose to care about, what values and benchmarks guide our actions. With great responsibility comes great power. Accepting responsibility is the first step to solving problems. Many hesitate to take responsibility because they mistakenly believe that responsibility implies blame. Blame is past, responsibility is present. We are always responsible for our experiences, regardless of any circumstances. People like to take responsibility for success and happiness, but taking responsibility for problems is more important for personal growth. Blaming others harms ourselves. Some people experience tough upbringings and severe abuse, but the blame or guilt fallacy allows people to avoid taking responsibility. Victimhood is popular, but it diverts attention from real victims. Feeling offended provides a temporary high but hinders real improvement in life. Making choices is like a poker game. where the cards are the life we are dealt. Some have better cards, but the results are determined by the choice we make. People who make good choices win in the long run, regardless of the cards they've been dealt. Even if some face worse problems than others, everyone is responsible for moving forward and making the best choices given the circumstances. Accepting responsibility gives power of life. Changing values and caring about something new is challenging, with side effects like rejection and uncertainty. Internal and external resistance is inevitable, but it is part of the growth process. Examining and changing values is painful but necessary for personal development. Chapter 6. You are wrong about everything, but so am I. Growth is a recurring process. We move from wrong to something less wrong in an endless cycle. Being wrong provides an opportunity for growth and change. We must accept that our beliefs are often wrong, and our brain creates meaning based on past experiences. Uncertainty is the key to progress. Questioning ourselves and doubting our thoughts are essential skills. Manson's law of avoidance points out that we try to avoid what threatens our identity, even if it could lead to positive change. Defining ourselves in a simple way and letting go of unnecessary expectations frees us. To create real change, we must admit that our actions and beliefs have been wrong. Being open to the possibility of being wrong is necessary for growth. Evaluating different values without necessarily accepting them is a central skill for meaningful change. The reality is that it feels like it's you against the world. Yes, probably you against yourself. Being aware of our mistakes and being open to change is the key to a more rewarding life. Chapter 7. Failure is the way forward. Improvement happens through small defeats, and success depends on the number of failed attempts. The fear of failure often comes from upbringing, education, and media influence. Avoiding defeat limits growth. Our values affect how we measure success, and the fear of pain is part of change. Strong moments of pain can lead to increased strength and endurance. Life's worst moments can change our perspective. Standing in the mud is the beginning of change. Pain is part of the process, and feeling it is necessary for real change. Motivation does not always precede action. Action can be the cause of motivation. Inspiration, motivation, and action form an internal cycle. If motivation is lacking, action can start the process. Action leads to inspiration, which in turn creates motivation. The do something principle makes failure less important. When action itself is considered success, it propels us forward and helps overcome procrastination. Doing something, even a small action, can start a snowball of motivation and lead to positive change. The goal is to become the inspiration and motivation for oneself. Action is always within reach, and even failure pushes you forward when action is the only measure of success. Chapter 8. The importance of saying no. Freedom provides the opportunity to find meaning, but without commitment, life lacks inherent meaning. Travel challenges cultural values and forces us to reassess our own lives. Rejection is necessary to define values and identity. The positivity culture encourages accepting everything, but avoiding rejection leads to a meaningless life. Avoiding rejection provides short-term comfort, but lacks control over life in the long run. To find value, we must reject what is not valuable. Avoiding rejection leads to emptiness and a lack of identity. Rejection is necessary for meaningful relationships, jobs, and life. Healthy love requires responsibility, clear boundaries, and the ability to reject. Unhealthy love is an escape from problems. Clear boundaries are necessary for individual growth in a relationship. Entitlement leads to manipulation in relationships. Sacrifice should be desired, not imposed. Acts of love must be unconditional to be valid. Fear of conflict hinders strong values. Trust is necessary for a meaningful relationship. Trust can be rebuilt through responsibility and improved behavior over time. More is not always better. Commitment provides freedom by focusing on what's important. The paradox of choice arises when we are overwhelmed by options. Commitment provides focus, simplicity, and success. Rejecting unnecessary options frees us to focus on what truly matters. Chapter 9. And then you die. Death scares us, so we avoid thinking, talking, or accepting it. Yet death is the backdrop that gives life meaning. Without it, everything would be meaningless and worthless. The book The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker points out two key points. 1. Humans are unique in our ability to form abstract thoughts about ourselves. This unique mental ability leads us to the realization of our inevitable death. Second, we have two selves, the physical self that will die and the conceptual self seeking immortality through immortality projects. Becker emphasizes that fear motivates our concerns. Truly caring about something bigger than ourselves is the key to happiness. Stoics and Buddhism stress keeping death in mind to appreciate life and prepare for death. Confronting our own mortality erases superficial values. Death must be the compass guiding our values. Entitlement isolates us, while not giving a fuck provides freedom. Our choices of values, even in the face of death, makes us beautiful, successful, and loved. Fear of death poisons today's society, with superficial values and avoidance of responsibility. Reminding ourselves of death helps maintain focus, accept vulnerability, and makes life brighter and simpler. Staring into the darkness makes the world quieter, and resistance to life challenges diminishes. Death is nothing to fear, it's the only thing that gives life the true value. My own thoughts of the book. The book addresses important and very relevant topics. The most important thing I learned from the book is that making small, gradual improvements to routines is a much better solution than trying to completely turn life upside down overnight. Being 1% better every day adds up significantly in the long run. I've also learned that I will live a much better life by doing what I truly desires and try not to worry too much about others may think of it. I will give the book a rating of 5 out of 6 and I highly recommend that you read it. The sources I used in this presentation is the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, the picture of the roll of the dice, and facts about Mark Manson on Wikipedia. Thanks for watching.